The breaking point. Commander Zara's 4 eyes blinked in sequence as she stared at the cascade of red warnings flooding her command console. The Silver Wind, her proud merchant vessel that had carried cargo across 12 sectors for 20 years, was dying. The main engine core had fractured when they hit an unmarked debris field, and now every system was failing one by one like dominoes falling in slow motion. "Commander, we have a serious problem," Chief Engineer Mako said, his amphibious skin shifting to a dark blue color that signaled extreme stress. The large creature's webbed hands moved across his station with increasing urgency. "The cooling system for the reactor is gone. We have maybe 18 days before the backup power cells drain completely. After that, life support fails." Zara felt her antennae droop. Her species, the Velix, were known throughout the galaxy as excellent merchants and negotiators. They could talk their way out of almost any situation. But you could not negotiate with physics. You could not bargain with a broken engine core. "What about emergency thrusters?" she asked, though she already knew the answer would disappoint her. "We can limp along at 1/10 normal sublight speed," Mako replied grimly. "At this rate, the nearest coalition repair station is 8 months away. We will be dead in 18 days. The bridge fell silent. Zara looked around at her crew of 15. There was young Pip, the avian navigator whose feathers were usually bright yellow but had faded to dull gray with fear. There was Communications Officer Rin, the four-armed Quelix who had served with Zara for a decade. There was Dr. Ven, their medical officer, whose crystalline body refracted the dim emergency lighting into sad rainbows across the walls. They were her family, and she was going to watch them all die slowly in the cold emptiness of space. "There must be something closer," Pip chirped softly from the navigation station. Her head tilted in that bird-like way as she studied her charts. "Let me expand the search parameters. Maybe there is a mining outpost or a research station we missed." Zara nodded, grateful for the young navigator's optimism even if it was likely futile. The debris field had knocked them far off the standard trade routes. This region of space was largely unexplored, at least by coalition species. Minutes passed. The only sounds were the labored breathing of the crew and the ominous creaking of the damaged hull. Then Pip's feathers suddenly brightened to a vibrant yellow. "Commander, I found something." Pip's voice rose with excitement. "There is a system only 12 days away. It is called Sol. The third planet is inhabited. They call it Earth." "Earth?" Mako's skin color shifted to confused green. "I have heard of them. They are primitives. They barely made first contact with the Coalition 6 years ago. They have nothing. No technology. No infrastructure. What could they possibly do for us?" "They can give us air while we think of something else," Zara said firmly. "And maybe they have basic supplies we can use to extend our life support. It is our only chance." She pulled up the limited file on Earth and its inhabitants, humans. The database contained very little information. Humans had discovered faster-than-light communication 6 years ago when a Coalition exploration probe malfunctioned and crashed on their planet. Since then, they had established minimal contact with the galactic community. Coalition observers reported that humans were aggressive, territorial, and technologically backward. They had built a few primitive space stations and had barely achieved basic FTL capability 3 years ago. The official Coalition assessment was clear. Humanity needed at least another 50 years of development before they would be ready to join galactic society properly. "Set course for Earth, maximum speed," Zara ordered. "Rin, prepare a distress signal. Use all standard Coalition frequencies. Make it clear we need emergency assistance and are not a threat." "Yes, Commander," Rin said, his 4 arms flying across his console. "Distress signal ready. Send it." The message went out into the void, carrying their desperate plea across space. Now all they could do was hope. Hope that the primitive humans would hear them. Hope that they would respond. Hope that they would help. The response. The next 12 days were agony. Every day the air grew thinner and staler. Every day the temperature dropped as they reduced power to minimal levels. The crew moved in slow motion to conserve oxygen, sleeping in shifts with only 4 people awake at any time. Meals were cold. Conversations were whispered. Hope was fading. Zara forced herself to remain strong for her crew, but privately she wondered if they would even survive long enough to reach Earth. And if they did, would the humans help them or simply watch them die? On the 10th day, Rin called out from his station, his voice weak but excited. "Commander, we are receiving a response." Zara pulled herself to the command chair, her movements sluggish in the thin atmosphere. "Play it." A voice came through the speakers. It spoke Coalition Standard, the common galactic language, but with a strange musical accent that Zara had never heard before. "Silver Wind, this is Earth Orbital Control. We have received your distress signal and are tracking your position. Please proceed directly to Earth orbit, coordinates transmitting now. We are preparing docking facilities and have medical teams standing by. Help is coming. Repeat, help is coming. You are not alone." Something tight in Zara's chest loosened. They had responded. The primitives had actually responded. "Send our gratitude," Zara said. "Tell them we will arrive in approximately 40 hours. Over the next 2 days more messages came. The humans sent detailed instructions on which approach vector to use for optimal fuel efficiency. They provided updates on which orbital facility could best accommodate a ship of the Silver Wind size and configuration. They offered to send out emergency atmosphere processors if the crew could not last the final hours. Every message was professional, organized, and genuinely helpful. There was no discussion of payment. No demands. No conditions. Just help. "Commander, I am detecting significant activity in the Sol system," Pip said as they entered sensor range. Her feathers had brightened considerably with renewed hope. "There are multiple stations around the planet Earth. I count at least 30 major orbital platforms. There is also substantial development on their moon and on the 4th planet in their system." 30 stations? Mako's skin rippled with surprise. The report said they were barely space-capable. "Look at this," Pip said, transferring the visual to the main screen. Zara stared in disbelief. Earth hung before them, a beautiful blue and green world wrapped in swirling white clouds. But surrounding it was an impressive ring of structures: space stations, shipyards, solar collection arrays, and defense platforms. The moon's surface was dotted with lights marking settlements and industrial facilities. In the space between Earth and its moon, hundreds of vessels moved in organized traffic patterns. This was not the primitive civilization described in the coalition reports. "This changes nothing," Zara said, trying to keep her voice steady. "We still need their help. We are in no position to worry about why our intelligence was wrong." "Silver Wind, this is Earth Orbital Station Harmony," a new voice said over the communications channel, female and confident. "We have visual confirmation of your vessel. We are reading critical damage to your hull, power systems, and life support. We are dispatching a guidance ship to help you dock safely. Once you are secure, our emergency response team will board immediately. Medical personnel are standing by. Do not worry. We will take care of you." "Thank you, Station Harmony," Zara replied. "We appreciate your assistance more than you know." "That is what neighbors do," the woman said warmly. "Welcome to Earth. Let us get you safe." First impressions. The docking procedure was smooth and professional. Human pilots in small, agile craft guided the limping Silver Wind into a massive orbital shipyard with gentle precision. Through the view screen, Zara watched dozens of humans in advanced spacesuits moving around the station, preparing for their arrival. When the docking clamps secured with a gentle thud, Zara stood and straightened her uniform. First contact with a new species was always significant, even in emergencies. She took Mako and Pip with her to the airlock. The airlock cycled open and 3 humans floated in, moving with practiced ease in zero gravity. The leader removed her helmet, revealing a face framed by short dark hair and warm brown eyes. She smiled, an expression Zara recognized as friendly. "Commander Zara, I presume," the human said, extending her hand in a gesture Zara had read about. The human handshake, a greeting that involved gripping hands briefly. Zara reached out with her primary manipulator and grasped the human's hand carefully. The grip was firm and warm. "I am Director Sarah Wells," the human continued. "I oversee this facility. These are Chief Engineer Torres and Dr. Okafor. We are here to help." "Thank you for responding to our distress call," Zara said. "We were not certain anyone would hear us." "We heard you," Director Wells said simply. "And we are going to fix your ship. But first, let us stabilize your life support and get your crew comfortable." Torres' assessment. The engineer, a broad-shouldered man with gray at his temples, pulled up a holographic display. "Severe damage to reactor cooling, multiple hull breaches, life support at 11% capacity. We need to get emergency atmosphere processors installed immediately and replace their power cells." "How long until the crew is safe?" Wells asked. 2 hours for breathable atmosphere, 4 hours for comfortable temperature and full life support restoration." "Make it happen," Wells said. Then she turned back to Zara with that warm smile. "Commander, while my team works, why don't you and your senior staff come to the observation lounge? We have food and drinks prepared. You all look exhausted." Mako's skin shifted to suspicious yellow. You are not going to discuss payment terms first? Wells looked genuinely confused. Payment? You are in an emergency. We will figure out compensation later. Right now, making sure you and your crew do not die is the priority. Everything else can wait. She said it so simply as if it were the most obvious thing in the galaxy. Zara felt her understanding of humans shift. In her experience, most species discussed costs before rendering aid. Business before charity. Profit before people. But these humans just started helping. An hour later, Zara sat in the observation lounge with Mako, Pip, and Rin. Through the large windows they could see their ship surrounded by human workers and repair drones, already making emergency fixes. The crew had been moved to temporary quarters where Dr. Okafor and her medical team were examining everyone. Director Wells placed steaming cups in front of each of them. This is coffee, she explained. It is a hot beverage, mildly stimulating. Very popular among humans. Please try it. Zara lifted the cup carefully and sipped. The liquid was bitter but not unpleasant, with complex flavors she could not identify. Warmth spread through her body, and she felt her mind sharpen despite her exhaustion. Beside her, Pip tried her coffee and her feathers fluffed with pleasure. This is wonderful, the young navigator chirped. Mako took a cautious sip, and his skin brightened to an amazed orange. What is in this? Caffeine mostly, Wells said with a grin. We run on it. Now tell me what happened to your ship. And please take your time. You are safe here. As Zara explained their encounter with the debris field and their desperate journey to Earth, she watched Director Wells carefully. The human listened with complete attention, occasionally making notes on a data pad but never interrupting. When Zara finished, Wells nodded thoughtfully. A debris field in that sector, Wells said. We will have to send a warning to other ships and possibly a cleanup crew. You were lucky your hull held together. Coalition merchant vessel design is very robust. You are familiar with Coalition ship designs? Zara asked, surprised. We study everything we can, Wells said. We are new to the galactic community. We have a lot to learn, so we learn as much as possible from every source available. The Coalition reports said you were technologically primitive, Mako said bluntly. His species was known for directness. But this station is very advanced. Your response to our emergency was faster and more professional than many Coalition facilities. How is that possible? Wells exchanged a glance with Engineer Torres, who had joined them. There was something in that look, something knowing and almost amused. The Coalition observers saw what they expected to see, Wells said carefully. Yes, we only made official first contact 6 years ago. Yes, we are young to FTL travel. But we have been preparing for a long time. That probe that crashed on Earth? That was 33 years ago. We have been studying and learning ever since. 33 years? Zara's antennae perked up. But the official report said. The official report said what we wanted it to say, Torres interrupted. We kept the probe secret for almost 3 decades. We reverse-engineered it. We learned from it. We developed our own versions of Coalition technology and then improved upon it. By the time we made official contact, we had already built most of what you see around Earth. You deceived the Coalition? Rin said, his forearms crossing in a gesture of concern. We were cautious, Wells corrected gently. We are new to a galaxy full of established powers. We needed time to learn, to build, to prepare. We did not know if the larger galactic community would be friendly or hostile. So we learned first and revealed ourselves slowly. That is... Zara searched for the right word. That is remarkably strategic for a primitive species. Wells laughed, a pleasant sound. We are not primitive, Commander. We are just new to you. There is a difference. Now let us talk about your repairs. She pulled up a holographic schematic of the Silver Wind. Red areas marked damage throughout the ship. Your FTL drive core is cracked and will need complete replacement, Wells explained. Your hull has 7 major breaches that need sealing. Your power distribution system is barely functional and needs a full rebuild. Life support requires extensive work. Honestly, Commander, your ship should not have made it here. The fact that it did speaks well of your engineer's skills. Mako's skin flushed with modest pride. How long will repairs take? Zara asked quietly. And how much will it cost? This was the moment of truth. They had no money to speak of, not after losing their cargo in the debris field. They were at the humans' mercy. Wells leaned back and considered. Full repairs to restore your ship to operational status will take approximately 3 weeks. As for cost. She paused and Zara's heart sank. We will charge you for materials at cost, no markup. Labor will be minimal, maybe 10% of what you would pay at a coalition facility. We will also need you to share some information with us. Trade routes, cultural data about your species, that sort of thing. Call it an information exchange. Zara stared at the human. That is all? Materials at cost and some information. That is all, Wells confirmed. We want to establish good relationships with other species, Commander. Helping people in distress and charging reasonable fees is a good way to build trust and friendship. Besides, working on your ship gives my teams valuable experience with coalition vessel designs. There is one more thing, Torres added. While we are repairing your ship, we would like permission to upgrade some systems. Human innovations combined with coalition designs. Better hull materials, more efficient power distribution, improved sensors. We have developed some interesting technologies that would integrate well with your ship's architecture. Upgrade. Mako's skin went bright curious green. You want to make our ship better while you repair it? Why not? Torres said with a shrug. We are already in there working. Might as well make improvements while we fix things. That is just efficient. Zara looked at her crew. Pip's feathers were bright with excitement. Rin's 4 arms gestured enthusiastically. Mako's skin was the bright green of intense interest. These humans were nothing like what she had expected. They were advanced, generous, strategic, and genuinely helpful. And they made excellent coffee. You have a deal, Director Wells? Zara said, extending her hand for another shake. As the humans cheered and got back to work, Zara realized something profound. She had come to Earth expecting to beg primitives for basic assistance. Instead, she had found something far more valuable. Capable allies who might just change everything she thought she knew about the galaxy. And she had a feeling this was only the beginning. Transformation. 2 weeks into the repairs, Commander Zara stood in the observation deck of Station Harmony and barely recognized her own ship. The Silver Wind no longer looked like a battered merchant vessel limping through space. It looked like something being reborn, transformed into something stronger and better. The hull breaches had been sealed with a remarkable human material that engineer Torres called nanocomposite plating. It was 30% stronger than the original hull material but weighed significantly less. The dull gray exterior had been replaced with panels that shimmered slightly in the starlight, an effect Torres explained came from the microscopic structure of the material itself. Your ship is going to be fast, Torres said, appearing beside Zara with 2 steaming cups of coffee. Over the past 2 weeks, Zara had developed quite an addiction to the beverage. So had her entire crew. The new hull plating creates less drag at sublight speeds. The rebuilt power core with improved containment fields will give you 40% more output than before. And we added some modifications to your maneuvering thrusters. You will handle like a ship half your size. Zara accepted the coffee gratefully and took a long sip. How do you know so much about coalition ship architecture? Your species only encountered our technology 6 years ago according to official records. Torres grinned, that expression humans made when they were pleased with themselves. 33 years ago, actually. That probe we captured gave us a complete database of coalition technology, including ship designs, power systems, FTL theory, everything. We spent 3 decades studying it, reverse engineering it, testing it, and improving it. By the time we made official first contact, we had already surpassed most coalition technology in several areas. But why keep it secret? Zara asked. Why not announce yourselves immediately? Because we had no idea what we were dealing with, Torres said seriously. The probe's database showed us a galaxy full of ancient civilizations, powerful empires, territorial conflicts, and complex politics. We are just one planet with 8 billion people. We needed to understand the situation before we revealed ourselves. We needed to be ready. Ready for what? For anything, Torres said simply. Friendship, trade, conflict, war. We did not know what we would find, so we prepared for every possibility. We built quietly, learned quickly, and revealed ourselves slowly. A thought occurred to Zara. How many facilities like this does Earth have? Orbital shipyards like Station Harmony? Torres considered. About 120 around Earth itself. Another 60 around Mars, our 4th planet. Maybe 40 more scattered through the system at various colonies and mining operations. Plus manufacturing facilities, research stations, defense platforms. Over 200 shipyards? Zara's antennae stood straight up in shock. How is that possible? You have only had FTL capability for 3 years. We have been building in our own system for much longer than that, Torres explained. We did not need FTL to construct stations around our own planets. We have had fusion power for 70 years, advanced robotics for 50 years and orbital construction capability for 40 years. We just could not travel between stars until we figured out FTL from the probe data. But we could build plenty in our home system. Before Zara could respond, her communicator chimed. It was Pip, the young navigator. Commander, Director Wells wants to see you in her office. She says it is urgent. Zara felt a flutter of worry. I will be there immediately. When she arrived at Wells' office, she found the director watching a news broadcast on her display screen. The human's expression was grave, her usual warm smile absent. She gestured for Zara to sit. What is wrong? Zara asked, her worry intensifying. I was going to ask you the same thing, Wells said quietly. She turned the display toward Zara. This is the Galactic News Network feed. There is a war starting in Velix territory. Zara's blood turned cold. The display showed a tactical map of Velix space. Large portions were marked in angry red, indicating combat zones or occupied territory. The Sarkhan Empire, their aggressive neighbors, had launched a massive invasion. When did this start? Zara whispered, her voice barely functional. 4 days ago, Wells said gently. I am sorry, Commander. I thought you should know immediately. Do you have family in the affected regions? Zara's mind raced through the tactical display. Her home colony of First Landing was not yet threatened, but her sister's agricultural colony, Green Haven, was directly in the path of the Sarkhan advance. Her sister Keela lived there. Keela's husband. Their 4 children. Zara's own 2 offspring were visiting their cousins this season as part of a cultural education exchange. My family, Zara said, her voice breaking. My sister's colony. My children. They are all at Green Haven. Right in the invasion path. Wells' face showed genuine distress. I am deeply sorry, Commander. The Velix are traders and explorers, Zara said bitterly, staring at the map. We have a small military, mostly patrol ships and system defense forces. We never wanted to be warriors. We wanted to trade, to explore, to learn. But the Sarkhan have been building their war fleet for decades. They have hundreds of heavy cruisers, thousands of fighters. They have been planning this invasion for years. Tears tracked down Zara's face. She did not try to hide them. In Velix culture, showing emotion was a sign of honesty, not weakness. I should be there, Zara said. I should be helping somehow. But what can one merchant captain do against an invasion fleet? I am useless here, safe while my family faces death. Your ship is not ready yet, Wells said softly. And even if it was, you are right that one ship cannot turn the tide of a war. But perhaps one ship is not what is needed. Zara looked up at the human. There was something in Wells' expression, something calculating and determined. Wait here, Commander, Wells said, standing. I need to make some calls. Help yourself to more coffee. The director left her office and Zara sat alone, watching the news feed update with more grim reports. Another Velix colony had fallen. Sarkhan forces were advancing quickly, meeting minimal resistance. Her people were losing and losing badly. The revelation. An hour passed, each minute an agony of helplessness. Zara drank coffee and stared at the tactical map, watching her people's territory shrink as red zones expanded. She thought about her children, about whether they were scared, whether they were safe, whether they were even alive. When Wells returned, she was not alone. With her was a human male in a military uniform, crisp and decorated with insignia Zara did not recognize. He was older, perhaps 60 by human standards, with gray hair and sharp, intelligent eyes. He carried himself with the unmistakable bearing of someone who commanded respect and authority. Commander Zara, Wells said, this is Admiral James Carter. He commands Earth Defense Fleet. Admiral, Zara said, standing and offering the hand gesture of respect her species used for military officers. To her surprise, the Admiral returned it perfectly, then extended his hand for a human handshake. Commander, Director Wells has briefed me on your situation, Admiral Carter said as they shook hands. His grip was firm and reassuring. I am truly sorry about the threat to your people and your family. No one should face such terror. Thank you, Admiral, Zara said. But I do not understand why Director Wells asked you here. The Admiral and Wells exchanged a meaningful look. Wells nodded slightly. Commander, we would like to show you something, Admiral Carter said. It is classified, one of Earth's most carefully guarded secrets. But given the circumstances and given the friendship you have shown us these past 2 weeks, we believe you should see it. Will you come with us? Confused and emotionally drained, Zara agreed. They boarded a small shuttle at the station's departure bay. Instead of heading toward Earth or any of the visible stations, The shuttle flew around the moon, heading toward the far side, the hemisphere that permanently faced away from Earth. Luna far side is restricted space, Wells explained as they flew. No civilian traffic allowed. Military authorization only. We have kept this area completely secret from all outside observers. Why? Zara asked. You are about to understand, Admiral Carter said. The shuttle rounded a massive crater and suddenly Zara saw it. Her breath caught in her throat. Her antennae went rigid with shock. The cup of coffee she had been holding slipped from her fingers and floated in the zero gravity of the shuttle cabin. Ships. Hundreds upon hundreds of warships arranged in perfect formation in the shadow of the crater. Massive cruisers as large as small cities. Sleek frigates bristling with weapon systems. Entire squadrons of fighters in precise geometric patterns. All bearing the markings of Earth, all waiting in absolute silence. What is this? Zara whispered. This is Earth Defense Fleet, Admiral Carter said. We have been building it for the past 8 years. 60 heavy cruisers. 240 frigates. 800 fighters. All equipped with the best technology we could develop. Coalition designs improved with human engineering and innovation. 8 years. Zara could not process what she was seeing. But you only achieved FTL 3 years ago. How did you build all this? We had the designs from the probe, Wells explained. We could not travel to other stars yet, but we could build ships. We constructed them here, on the far side of Luna where they would be hidden from outside observers. We trained crews. We ran simulations. We prepared. But why? Zara asked. The Coalition is not your enemy. No one has threatened Earth. Not yet, Admiral Carter said grimly. But Commander, we studied that probe's database carefully. We saw the history of galactic conflict. We saw the border wars, the territorial disputes, the invasions, the genocides. We saw what happened to young species who entered the galactic community without adequate defenses. Many were conquered, enslaved, or destroyed. We decided we would not let that happen to humanity, Wells continued. So we built a fleet in secret. We prepared for the possibility of conflict while hoping for peace. And we waited for the right moment to reveal ourselves. The shuttle flew closer to the fleet. Zara could see details now, the advanced sensor arrays, the weapon ports, the armor plating. These were not primitive vessels. These were warships designed with sophisticated understanding of modern space combat. This fleet has been combat-ready for 6 months, Admiral Carter said. We have been running advanced wargame simulations for 2 years, testing tactics against every known species combat doctrines from the database. We have been training for scenarios ranging from piracy suppression to full-scale fleet battles. We are ready. Ready for what? Zara asked, though part of her already knew the answer. Admiral Carter turned to face her directly. His expression was serious but not unkind. Commander Zara, your people are in trouble. The Sarkhan are winning. Your colonies are falling. Innocent civilians, including your own family, are in danger. We would like to help. Help? Hope surged in Zara's chest, but she forced it down. How? This is a real war, Admiral. The Sarkhan fleet is enormous. Thousands of ships. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers. This is not a small conflict. We know, Admiral Carter said. That is exactly why we are offering. We have been looking for an opportunity to reveal our fleet's existence, to announce Earth as a genuine military power in the galaxy. Helping defend innocent colonies from an aggressive invasion seems like an excellent reason. It would also give us real combat data on our ships and tactics. You want to test your fleet in actual combat, Zara said slowly, understanding dawning. Yes, the Admiral admitted. But more than that, we want to help people who need it. We want to make it clear that Earth stands against aggression and defends the innocent. We want to show the galaxy who we are and what we stand for. There are also practical considerations, Wells added. If we help the Velix Dominion survive, we make a powerful ally. We demonstrate that Earth is both capable and willing to defend others. It is good strategy and good diplomacy. Zara looked out at the hidden fleet again. Hundreds of warships, armed and ready, crewed by humans who had trained in secret for years. A force that could genuinely challenge the Sarkhan invasion. What do you need from me? Zara asked. Information, Admiral Carter said immediately. Everything you know about Sarkhan tactics, ship designs, fleet composition, and command structure. Your navigation data for the fastest routes to the conflict zone. Technical specifications on Velix defense capabilities so we can coordinate effectively. And permission to contact your Dominion military command to offer our assistance. You have it, Zara said without hesitation. All of it. Whatever you need. If there is even a chance you can save my people, my family, you have my complete cooperation. There is one more thing, Admiral Carter said. Your ship will be fully repaired and upgraded in 3 days. You can join our fleet when we deploy, or you can stay here in safety. Either choice is acceptable. This is not your fight if you do not want it to be. Zara thought of her children. She thought of her sister. She thought of all the Velix families facing Sarkhan invasion forces. Then she looked at the human fleet, at the hope it represented. I will join you, Zara said firmly. The Silver Wind may not be a warship, but she can serve as a communications vessel, a scout, or whatever role you need. I will not hide in safety while others fight for my family and my people. Admiral Carter smiled and extended his hand. Welcome to the fleet, Commander Zara. As they shook hands, Zara felt something shift inside her. She had come to Earth desperate and dying, expecting to beg for basic repairs from primitives. Instead, she had found advanced technology, genuine friendship, and now a powerful military force willing to fight for her people. The galaxy had underestimated humanity. That was going to be a fatal mistake for the Sarkhan Empire. Preparation. The next 3 days were intense. Zara spent every waking hour in strategy sessions with Admiral Carter and his command staff. She shared everything she knew about Sarkhan military doctrine, ship classes, and tactical preferences. She provided detailed navigation data for the fastest routes through Velix space. She even managed to establish communication with Velix Dominion Military Command, though that conversation had been difficult. You want to bring an unknown alien fleet into our territory during a war? General Thex had demanded over the secure channel. How do we know these humans are not working with the Sarkhan? How do we know this is not a trick? Because they repaired my ship when I was dying, Zara had replied. Because they offered help before I could even ask for it. Because they have nothing to gain from betraying us and everything to gain from our friendship. General, we are losing this war. Our colonies are falling. Do we really have the luxury of refusing help? There had been a long silence. Then General Thex had sighed, a sound of exhaustion and desperation. Very well, Commander Zara. Coordinate with these humans. But if this goes wrong, the responsibility is yours. Understood, General. On the 3rd day, the Silver Wind was released from the repair bay. Zara took her crew on a test flight, and within minutes she understood what Torres had meant. The ship moved like a dream, responding to commands with speed and precision she had never experienced before. The power core hummed with smooth efficiency. The sensors provided clear data at twice their previous range. Even the interior was improved, with better lighting, more comfortable temperature control, and a dozen small quality-of-life upgrades. This is incredible, Mako said from the engineering station, his skin bright with joy. Commander, they did not just repair our ship. They made it better than it ever was, better than factory standard. This is a gift. The humans are full of surprises, Zara agreed. That evening, the entire crew of the Silver Wind was invited to a gathering on Station Harmony. In a large observation lounge, they met the captains and senior officers of Earth Defense Fleet. There were dozens of humans in crisp uniforms, all professional and courteous. Admiral Carter stood and raised a glass of something the humans called champagne. A toast, he said. To Commander Zara and the crew of the Silver Wind. You came to us in distress and you leave as friends and allies. You shared your knowledge and your trust. In return, we offer our ships, our courage, and our commitment. Tomorrow we sail together to defend the innocent and stand against aggression. Tomorrow the galaxy learns that Earth protects its friends. To friendship, the gathered humans shouted, raising their glasses. Zara felt tears on her face again, but these were different tears. These were tears of hope. The next morning the fleet prepared to launch. Zara stood on the bridge of the Silver Wind, watching through the viewscreen as the massive human warships powered up. One by one they emerged from behind the moon, revealing themselves to the galaxy for the first time. All ships report ready, Pip said from the navigation station. The human fleet is in formation. Admiral Carter is hailing us. Put him through, Zara ordered. The Admiral's face appeared on the screen. Behind him, Zara could see the bridge of his flagship, the EDF Determination. It was impressive, filled with advanced displays and equipment. Commander Zara, we are ready to begin, Admiral Carter said. Your ship will travel in the center of our formation, protected and able to coordinate communications. Estimated travel time to Velix space is 9 days at maximum FTL speed. Are you ready? Zara looked around her bridge. Her crew was at their stations, determined and hopeful. She thought of her children waiting for rescue. She thought of her people fighting for survival. We are ready, Admiral, Zara said. Then let us go save some lives, Admiral Carter said. All ships jump on my mark. 3, 2, 1 mark. Space twisted, and the combined fleet leaped forward into FTL. 200 human warships and 1 modified merchant vessel raced toward war, carrying hope to a desperate people. As they traveled through the strange dimensions of faster-than-light space, Zara reflected on the extraordinary journey she had experienced. She had approached Earth for repairs, expecting to find primitives who might, if she was lucky, provide basic assistance to keep her crew alive. Instead, she had received sophisticated upgrades, discovered hidden military might, made genuine friends and found allies willing to fight for her people. The humans were not primitive. They were strategic, innovative, powerful, and remarkably compassionate. And they made excellent coffee. Zara smiled, sipping from her cup. In 9 days, the Sarkhan Empire would learn what humanity could do. In 9 days, the galaxy would discover that Earth was not a weak newcomer to be ignored or dismissed. In 9 days, everything would change. But for now, Zara sat on her transformed ship, surrounded by a powerful fleet, drinking coffee and believing, truly believing, that her family would be saved. She had come to Earth desperate and dying. She left with hope, friendship, and a war fleet at her back. Sometimes, she thought, the galaxy surprises you in the best possible ways.